Hello, this is Earl Netwell, the micro business specialist, speaking today on behalf of reppilot.com/info. We're going to talk about the reputation wars. Competition. American commerce is built on competition. Competition takes a variety of forms. A number of elements are important as one business struggles against another to get that dollar, to get that extra business. Your ability to succeed in these competitions, the various arenas, is critical to your profitability in the long run, and to the quality of your business will depend a lot on your reputation and particularly your business. So, reputation wars. I'm going to give you an example of something that you've seen before. This is a search on Google. This particular search is for acupuncture, Minneapolis, and typically you've got a number of ads, you've got some organic results. Here's the beginning of the Google 7-pack. We're going to skip to a completely different review. This one happens to be a 7-pack for auto repair, and I'm going to take a quick look at some of the results and some of the star ratings for auto repair. This happens to be done in Minneapolis, Minnesota, my hometown, and we're going to point a couple of these folks out. First on top here, we got Uptown Imports. This business has got an average rating of 3.9 stars. It's got 55 Google reviews. So these are Google reviews and a 3.9 ranking. I'm going to skip to the middle right here. We're going to look at Bobby and Steve's Auto World. Now, Bobby and Steve's have got a 2.7 rating and 48 reviews. So both these guys have got a good chunk of reviews. One's got a 2.7, the other's got a 3.9. Which one would you take your car to? Well, particularly if it's foreign, you'd go to Uptown. Now, there's a couple businesses here that have got a 4.3, and here Flannery's got a 4.5 rating. But in this case, Steve's and Tires only got a 7 Google reviews. Flannery's only got 7. So while they've got good relative rankings, they have relatively few reviews. So you might not be completely comfortable that those reviews are as fleshed out as when somebody's got 55 or 48. But when they have that many, you're going to begin to believe that there's a big difference between this operator and this operator, at least enough to give you pause. If my wallet's involved, I'm pretty sure I'm going to go to this guy first. How about you? What would you do? So this competition on reputation and on reviews is a battlefront. Now, in any business, there's two ways to grow a business. You can get new customers, or you can get your existing customers to buy more. And this review battlefront really focuses on that new customer, that customer that doesn't already have a working relationship with a vendor. So they're new to the market, they're new to the neighborhood, whatever the case, they are footloose and are looking for someone, and they are costlier type of business to get. It's harder to get a new customer than to get an existing customer to buy more, but it's critical. You need that new customer to replace those who are dying off or moving out of your neighborhood, and you need new customers for growth. Now, did you know that 94% of new customers use search engines to find local businesses? They're not going to the Yellow Pages, they're going to Google, they're going to Bing, they're going to Ask, they're going to various other search engines or review sites to get information on who are the better vendors in their particular niche that they're looking at. 70% of households use the internet as their vehicle to go hunting for things and products when they're searching. So, who would you choose? A business with 2 stars or a business with 4 stars? Clearly, you want to go to those companies, those businesses that have got some positive review, and that's making a difference in how people shop today, and it's going to become even more important in the coming weeks and months and years. 70% of customers trust a business that's got a minimum of 6 to 10 reviews. So again, Steve's and Flannery's, they had 7 reviews. I was kind of at the threshold of believability when they had that level. I'd have been happier had they had 10, 12, 15, or 20. But, I'm beginning to believe that they were at least perhaps worth checking out. 72% of consumers say that they trust online reviews as much as personal recommendations. A huge number of people will believe the reviews, particularly if they see that there's a chunk of reviews and they ring true to them. Smartphones. You got a smartphone? I've got a smartphone. Lots of people got smartphones. More people are getting smartphones. And 95% of the smartphone users use it to search for local information on local businesses, local vendors. 1/3 of all searches for local businesses are made on a mobile device. And that's important to know because the search engines that run the mobile devices take into account businesses' reviews as part of the algorithm as to who they are going to display on the mobile device. It's a little bit different than on your desktop, but definitely on your cell phones, you're going to get listings skewed by the types of reviews they're getting. And so if you've got great reviews and a significant number of reviews, you're going to get better placement on that cell phone, and that means you're going to have better results and more customers. So where do reviews come from? They come from your customers, and they're posted on all kinds of places, Google Plus and Yelp and various other directories. That's where you want to be. How do you get reviews? They come by your customers, and you got to ask them to do it, but they tend not to because it's hard. So if there's a way that you can make it easier for them to get to your particular review site, even if you have to spell out what the review site URL is, you want to do that. You want to make it as easy as possible because good reviews equal more money. A 1/2 star or even just a 0.2% differential in the overall rankings of your business can make the difference between success and failure. And bad reviews cost you real money. A recent Harvard Business School study found that a 1-star decreased rating can reduce your revenues by nearly 10%. That's not insignificant. So the bottom line is that it's all about digital curb appeal. You want your business to look like the best house on the block when someone's looking online. What do you do about those negative reviews? There's only one thing you really can do about a negative review, and that's to bury it with good reviews. But let's think about this whole concept of negative reviews. Negative reviews can be good if you learn how to turn a negative into a positive. If you respond quickly and appropriately to someone who leaves a negative review, you have a very real chance of turning them around. We believe that 7 out of 10 negative reviews can be regained as lifelong customers if you treat them with respect, you deal with their issue, and you do it in a timely manner. If you happen to have something a little not quite kosher in your business, if you got a system or a process that needs tweaking, knowing about it is going to prevent a lot of other negative reviews you might never hear of. So when you hear of something and you know that you got a problem, you got to fix it. You need to make the changes to make your system, to make your business operate more smoothly, more efficiently. And if you think about getting that feedback and systematizing a way of getting people's information, what they like, what they don't like, and then doing something about it, you've got an opportunity to streamline your business, to perfect it, so that in the future you get nothing but positive reviews because you've dealt with the kinks and with the issues that exist. Then finally, the way to take a negative and a positive is when you have people that have been dissatisfied for one reason or another, you want to follow up with them. You want to go back to them, maybe send them a special offer, maybe send them a special coupon, a kind of a makeup present, whatever is appropriate in your particular business, and you want to woo them back. So if you know that you've got a dissatisfied customer, you want to take that little extra effort and win them back. And that's how you turn negatives into positives. Your goal is to make your business the obvious choice, to have it stand out from the crowd so that people see your listing on Google, your listing on Ask, your listing on Yelp, your listing on Angie's List, your listing on City Pages, or wherever it is. You want to be in a position that you are the 5-star vendor, because when you are, you're going to get that new customer. They're going to come to you first. They're going to be willing to pay a premium price for your product or service once they know and trust that you are able to deliver and have delivered and are likely to deliver excellent goods, products, or services for them. This is Earl Netwall, the Micro Business Specialist. I've got a system that helps automate much of this process. Very, very slick system that I promise you will do a lot of this for you on autopilot. It's called Rep Pilot, REPPILOT.com/info, INFO, lowercase info. Check it out.